Yeah, yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear this. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out. I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help the saints understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought cause you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is dead. Read your Bible, you know what it said. He who don't work don't eat. Slackers don't get fed. Yeah, Jesus said he who puts his hands to the plow looks back the same ain't fit. Some of y'all ain't been in the trenches 5 minutes and you about ready to quit. I ain't mad at ya, I'm just hitting you with the real. If you died for me and I was still tripping, now how you think that make you feel? Check this out, deep game, this here's deep. Some of y'all ain't sawing nothing but you started trying to reach. But unto him who is able to possess your fathers by his glory. Struggles might be part of your testimony, but it ain't the end of the story. Now the point is this was prophesied way back in the day. Choir, sing your hook right here and see if the church can relate.
I know we can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out.
Not strange, the fiery trials are to try you. You say, why you? But your church say, what would Jesus do? Why you asking if he ain't trying to do what he's saying? He told you he was going to have tribulations, but you thought he was playing. 1 minute you're telling how good God is and can't nobody beat your talk. The next minute you're backsliding so fast, look like you're moonwalking. Oh yeah, I'm preaching to myself cause I ain't no better. It ain't like I've been following his every word, obeying it to the letter. So we soldiers, we gotta remember that. Regroup, stay on point. Yeah, bow down, confess, repent, stay humble, let him anoint. It ain't easy as I thought it was. I'd be lying if I told you that. But it's showing up getting better all the time. Trust me, that's a fact. Ain't nothing we going through that can't be handled. God put that on his son. Like they say, you can shout now if you want to, cause the battle's already won. So while you're going through the valley, don't even trip. You're gonna be on top. Choir, sing the hook line one more again. This time you don't stop.
I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He'll work it out. We can make it. I know we can make it. I know good and well. Oh, yeah. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. If you let him, I know good and well. He can work it out. 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 Oh, dear.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? This is your host, Lamont Patterson. You listen to I Am Indie. I had to give a minute or so to Big Boy upstairs because it's my belief and I hope it is yours. He's going to work this thing out, boy. This crazy thing that we call life that we're experiencing. I know we're all on this ride together. Hope wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, you're doing it safely. And hopefully you got, as they call it, face covering or mask. And if you're not looking out for you, look out for your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Cover it up. Today's hump day. We made it this far, so with Big Boy upstairs, blessing, we can make it the rest of the week. So just sit back and chill. We got another great show lined up for you. Mr. Gerry Mancuso is blowing it up out there on the rock scene and doing some great things. And we're going to chop it up with him, see what he's got going on in his life. Hope he's being safe, too. You know, some superstars don't be safe, but we'll hope he's being safe. Gerry, are you with us?
Lamont, what's up, bro?
Just doing what I do. How you doing, man?
Good. Everything's good over here, man. Just, trying to, keep my cool with the COVID and, taking it one day at a time, staying busy. You got to stay busy.
Yes, that is so true, and hopes I'm being a whole lot active with that being busy, because I know I've been being busy mentally, not as busy physically as I know I should be, and I'm ashamed of myself, but I'm seeing a little tummy. I got to get rid of that, man. So hope that ain't happening.
I know. We all gain, man. We all gain. Once those gyms open up, it's a wrap for everybody.
Oh, yeah, boy. Look like they shutting back down now, so I don't know what
I know. It's crazy out there.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gerry Mancuso, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, sir.
Yes, it's Mancuso.
Mancuso. All right, I got it. Is it all right if I call you Gerry?
Yeah, yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming through, man, and chatting it up with us. with Gerry Mancuso, lead guitar teacher. And he started out playing one of my favorite instruments, too, that saxophone when we was kids, though. But I found out I liked the microphone better, and he found out he liked some other things better. But we're going to let him tell you about that. We're going to let him tell you about that. So for those who just joined the show, you know, if you want to chime in anytime, you know, all you got to do is press number 1. You know, we'll let you in and let you say your 2 cents and, you know, ask Gerry about his music. And we're going to have some of his songs to play for you shortly. But we're going to chop it up with Gerry for a minute. Let's tell us a little bit about him. Let him tell you guys a little bit about him, where he come from, what he's doing, what he's going to do, and all that welcome stuff. It's on you, Gerry. I like to always start from the beginning, man, because I'm always curious how, you know, artists such as yourself, you know, started out. You know, a lot of us started out in church. You know, a lot of us started out at church and school. Some just started out at just school. So, you know, how you get your music bug, man?
I started out when I was a kid and, you know, playing sax in elementary school. And, you know, and I loved it, but, you know, I wasn't too much into the marching band music. So, you know, but what I really loved was going to jazz band at night. They had jazz band, like, during the week. And, you know, I would always go down there because, you know, jazz band is like, you know, it gave you an opportunity to do your solos, you know, and everybody in the jazz band took their turn, do their solo, you know, which is pretty much what jazz is, you know, improvisation. So I loved improvisation, you know, so I just, you know, I learned how to play the instrument and all the music theory I learned. And then eventually I got took to the point where I was like, you know, like I started out as like a freshman in high school. And I think about a couple of years after that, I ended up dropping the sax and I was like, yo, I want to play guitar, you know, and, you know, I started getting into like, some instrumentals like rock and metal, and you know I said, you know what, I'm gonna pick up a guitar, and I took lessons for maybe like 2-3 months, and then I just fell in love with it, man. Like I just, you know, I would play for hours every night, and you know it just took me to like another level, you know, like it just takes you somewhere else, you know. So you know it kept me off the street, you know, it kept me from doing bad things, you know. I just fell into that zone where I would just jam out for hours, and it was amazing, man. You know, it took me to a whole new world, and started playing, you know, got into a band. I was like 16, we played a few shows, and from then on, I was jamming with all different types of bands, from blues musicians to, you know, I was in a gospel group, I was in a hip-hop group, metal bands, rock bands, and you know, I learned a lot over time, you know, and then it got to the point where I said, you know what, I want to go solo. So I started recording, and, you know, I started learning how to do the, you know, recording at home, and, you know, learning about engineering and everything like that. You know, I went to school for engineering after high school for like about a year, dropped out of that, but, you know, I learned some things, and you know, ever since that, I just been going hard, and you know, lately even harder. You know, dropped a few records, dropped a few albums. Working on my 5th album right now, but lately I just been dropping singles because I feel like if I keep dropping singles, you know, to keep the buzz going, you know, for fans who want to listen to this, you know, see what I'm doing, and then once the album drops, then I could take the singles off, you know, Spotify and iTunes and all that, and then just, you know, drop the full album and do like an album promotion, you know.
Well, you definitely seem like you got a plan, and the fact that you done played all those different genres, I can tell where you get your versatility from, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, like that's why, you know, I decided, you know, I was like, yo, let me open up a YouTube page about 10 years ago, and I've been doing a lot of covers and remixes, and, you know, I would use artists like Michael Jackson, Usher, Alicia Keys, The Weeknd. You know, I did a Drake remix, you know, like bigger like mainstream artists. like commercial
Right.
artist kind of, just to show what I could do over the track, so people can get an idea of what I sound like, so they'd be interested in listening to my record, you know. Because that, you know, that's a lot of people do these days, man. You know, they do covers and remixes, and then people like them, and then they say, oh, you know, I want to see what this guy does. I want to hear his originals, you know. And then it takes you there.
Well, I know, man, it's a whole different mindset in the music industry, man. Because I remember, you know, once upon a time in the business, when you did covers, you either had to exactly kill it or leave it alone.
Yeah, you really got to hit it hard, man. You know, but you know, I'll play like the lead melody of a song, you know, and then I'll do my own rendition of it. You know, like check out my YouTube page. You know, you see what I'm doing. Like I did, you know, There Goes My Baby from Usher, for example. And you got that main hook, you know. That main hook, there goes my baby, you know. Throw that hook in there. Everybody knows that hook, right? And then after that, you go into your lead, you know. You go into your freestyle or however you want to call it. And then you go back to the hook, you know. So, but that's how it got me into the Apollo, man. You know, like I hit him with the Beat It from Michael Jackson.
Right.
And they called me back, man. I couldn't believe it. You know, I only had 90 seconds to audition. I was like, what am I gonna do to capture their attention? You know, what song am I gonna do? You know, I'm at the Apollo in Harlem. You know, people all over the world want to get on the stage. I was like, what song am I gonna do that's gonna get them? So I was like, yo, let me do Beat It from Michael Jackson, because I love that song, man. That's one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs.
That was a good choice too, man, because that's where a lot of should I say managers and A&R people make up. It's not because the artist or the CD or album is bad. A lot of times they choose the wrong material. They choose the wrong song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that messes them up. A lot of times they don't get a second shot. But what you did was hit the ball out of the park the first time. You hit a song that everybody's aware of and know of, and then
exactly
the artist, love the artist. So I mean, that was a great move on your part for us thinking that through.
Yeah. I was like, you know what, I got to play this one. And you know what happened was I only got 90 seconds, so you know I was like, I got to make it sound real hot. So you know, obviously I played that main riff, the Beat It riff, and then I did my thing, but I kind of like blacked out, you know, because you know I never did an audition like that before. So like the first 10 seconds, you know, I had my lines going, but then I forgot where I was going. So I was like, yo, let me just freestyle this, and ended up working in my favor.
Was your heart pumping?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it definitely was. Especially when I got on stage, though, man. Like the first time, because they called me back 2 other times after that. You know, they called me back. You know, the first time I went there, I did Prince Purple Rain. You know, because this was 2016. This is like right around when Prince passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? Let me do Purple Rain for my set track. You know, and you know, it went pretty good, man, because you know, I got a nice applause. You know, and again, I wasn't trying to win the contest or whatever, you know, what have you. You know, because I know it's a contest. But I just wanted to get on there, you know, play and stand on the same stage that Jimi Hendrix stand on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite artists, man. I still like All Along the Watchtower and some of Hendrix's stuff. I still listen.
Yeah, that's the joint, that track right there. That's in my playlist. But yeah, my heart was pumping when I went on that stage, man. 1,700 people. You know, so. But it was cool, though,
I'm laughing, man, because that's an experience that we all go through, man. I remember the first time I sang in front of a bunch of people. When I walked out on the stage, I feel like that my Adam's apple got stuck and my heart was pumping, and I didn't know whether to run off stage or come on with it. You know what I mean? But the second thing you do defines everything.
Exactly, but you know, you hit a wrong note or you sing off key, then, you know, they're gonna get you off that stage real quick. You know how that works over there. You know, and then you know that's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Well,
but luckily, I didn't. You know, that didn't happen to me. Everything worked out. You know.
Well, great. That's fantastic, man. Because you got something on your resume that you can say that you did that everybody can't say.
Yeah, man. I feel I'm really grateful for that. You know, it was a good experience for me. You know, second time around, I did like a blues, kind of like a standard blues track. You know, it wasn't even a cover or nothing. It was just like a standard blues. You know, everybody knows that tune. You know, that blues. You know, standard sound. So you know, I hit it with that, and then the third time I went, I did one of my singles off my last record. You know, so I was able to do an original. You know. And that was a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun.
So Gerry, how is your unit composed up? You just doing straight solo stuff, or you out there with a band?
No, I'm doing solo stuff right now. I'm trying to work with producers, other artists. You know, right now I got my studio at home, and I produce everything myself. I mix and master myself. I play all the instruments. You know, so I got bass here. You know, when it comes down to do the bass lines, I just throw the bass lines.
When you
What'd
say
you say?
all the instruments, when you say all the instruments, I was just going to ask you what were they, because it seemed like you went from the sax to the guitar, and most people stop off at the piano in the middle.
Yeah. Nah, what I got a MIDI keyboard. So I'll play some keyboards on my tracks and bass lines. You know, I got a bass guitar, so you know I throw my own bass lines in there. And it's all structured, you know, with sequence drums. So I got drum processing going on, but it's all live sounding drums, you know, but they're sequenced,
right?
You know, in the computer. So
Who out there?
I structured it down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of technology nowadays, boy, because in the old days, you didn't have the benefit of all that. You just have a whole bunch of guys get together in a room and go for it.
Exactly. You know, nowadays you got all the technology, man. So it's, you know, you just lay the tracks down, and then, you know, I can take all the time I want. You know, once it sounds good enough for me, then I'll release it out there to the public, you know, and it's music a true expression, you know, like I play from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just
Okay,
let it out.
Let me ask you a question, since you're a musician, so you know the difference from the actual playing opposed to, you know, sampling and stuff. How do you feel about the industry now? Because I know, you know, there was a point in time, maybe not that long ago, you know, where we lost a lot of musicians. We got a lot of producers and I guess writers that's technically savvy, but they don't know how to play or read music. What do you think about that?
Right. Well, it's sad. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, like a lot of people these days, they don't want to learn how to play an instrument. You know, there's a lot of computer musicians, quote unquote, and you know, a lot of people use samples, and you know, it's a totally different ball game. You know, I never came from that realm. I always came from the original realm of, like, you know, writing a riff and then writing a bass line and, you know, making it progressive, make a hook, a melody, and changes, having different changes going on. But yeah, the you know, the spectrum changed. You know, the whole idea is that you gotta know where to look, though, because there's still a lot of musicians out there. You know, it's just the game has changed, man. You know, it's hard. It seems like it's harder to find, you know, real musicians nowadays. But they out there. You just got to know where to look. You know, like
right.
Instagram's a great platform for that too. You know.
Yeah, I just mentioned that too because I kind of came from a situation where we had to play the instrument. You know, get on the milk crate and sing. When we went in the studio, we didn't have 3,900,000 different tracks where we could punch in and punch out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
I've watched the industry change over years. I remember when labels used to have A&R departments, when now they don't even have to do that. All they got to do is go to your Instagram or your social media and see how many
Right.
likes, how many hits you got. And a lot of times, or YouTube, and then a lot of times they want to judge you, base you on that instead of really hearing the artist. And I think that's
Exactly.
like
And I don't agree with
not
that at
cool.
all.
Neither do I, because there's a lot of great artists that maybe not have the team or the finances in place yet, where they can have somebody just work on their social networking all day, every day.
Exactly. There's money. You need to have money these days. It seems like if you want to get out there, and hire, hire a whole team, marketing managers, publicists, website designers.
Well, first thing, Gary, a manager ain't gonna even mess with you if you ain't got nothing happening. Because if you ain't got nothing to manage, you ain't gonna do what can he do? You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's so true.
I hear a lot of artists call me, well, man, I need a manager. No, you need an investor. Because, it's three different things. You know what I mean? A manager manage. If you ain't got no dates, you ain't got no gigs nowhere, I mean, what is it for the manager to really do? I mean, what can he do?
Right.
He's not a booking agent. He may know some that may, refer you or whatever, but that's really not his job either. And he's not an investor. So I tell a lot of artists, when you're seeking or looking, know what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because to an experience. Go ahead.
A lot of artists, they think the end result is playing live shows, and live shows are cool. And don't get me wrong, I played a lot of live shows in my day. But that's really not my current, that's not my end goal really. I'm trying to get into movies, TV, video games, Netflix, commercials. Trying to get my music out there, publicly like that.
Right.
Because a lot of people hear my tracks and they're like, dude, your music sounds like it'd be perfect in like a Fast and Furious movie or something like that, or one of these kind of like up-tempo, or any type of movie like Moody, drama, race car chases, or
You got action now. You got action now, man, to get your music and a whole bunch of stuff because of the pandemic that's going on. Because I know I was just told the other day, last week I was told that, the studio's going to be open back up. They're going to start back filming. And at first they wanted everybody to sign a waiver. If we get sick, it's on you. Then they brought that back in, but look like they've been shut down again. So there's a lot of studios that have films and products, ready to go out. So, it's a good time to get your music placed on a lot of that stuff because people just sitting around and not running the streets. They got to be in front of their computers with their headphones on trying to see what they could put together, So
that's so true.
Now's a really good time to get stuff placed on stuff, man, because you can get their attention because they're not moving around as much.
Yeah, I would love that, man. Like a Netflix series, like a theme song for, like a show or in a movie, because it's definitely the perfect time, man. Everybody's focused with their headphones, like you said,
Yeah, well, I'll keep that in mind, man, and I'll see what I can do. Let me see. We got some of your music queued. Having one of those moments. We have some of your music queued up, man. So we're gonna let our listeners put their ears on something, man. What do you think? We have
nice.
What is it, Magic Secret and Landing Dock and Third Entry Wave. So what should we put on them?
I think you should put on Magician's Secret. Let them hear that because that's more like commercial friendly.
Oh, well, man, you the guest, man. You the king for the day, so we're going to play whatever you say play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can start with that one. Let them feel that. Let them feel that vibe, and then we'll move on to something harder. Because I got my style is like all over the place. I got a lot of different feels going on.
Okay. Well, pat yourself on the back with one arm, man. Don't use both of them at the same time. No, we know you got it going on. Everybody, you know the drill. You know, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this magic secret, Mr. Gerry Mancuso.
am indie. With your host, Lamont Patterson. I'm independent, but I'm in it. I'm feeling fine all the time. On my grind, I am indie. Alicia Rain at the wave.
Yeah, we're back with our guest, Mr. Gerry Mancuso, and that was My Secret Garden. Gerry.
Hey, Lamont.
Yeah. How did you put that together, man? That was nice.
Thank you, man. It started off with an idea. It started off with the main melody, and then I says, I need, I felt like I needed like a slow kind of in the pocket kind of beat. So I put that together, and then put some bass lines on it, and it was one layer after the other. Put that keyboard part in, and just put the solo in, and just kept ripping the licks. It's just keep going with the licks. But the whole idea was, to make it so that it's like a story. It starts off, as a story, and then the leads basically take you on that journey.
Yeah, I can hear that. Because to me, every good melody, every good song has to have a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I could definitely hear that.
It was more of like an improvisation kind of, but it was structured though the way it was. So it didn't have like a main melody, but I guess the main melody is the actual, the chords that you hear, the chord parts.
I can see you spend a lot of time in the lab.
Yeah, I love it. I just get so deep into it, It's just,
It just still amazes me how the quality of the music that you can hear today versus, some of the old school stuff that didn't have all the technology. Let me ask you this one. Out of all the artists out there today, who would you like to collab with, or who would you like to work with?
Oh man, it's unbelievable how many artists I would love to work with. I would like to collab with some R&B artists. That would be nice. Like Usher, for example. The Weeknd, I would like to collab with. But then, on the musician side, there's so many. I can't even think of them all right now. But I definitely would like to collab on like one of those kind of commercial poppy kind of tracks where it gets radio play and I get that solo at the end type of thing, because I know Usher has a lot of guitar solos in his tracks, and a lot of those R&B guys, Maxwell, and who's the other guy? Donnell Jones has a lot of good music in his tracks. A lot of guitar.
Where are you based at, Gerry? Where you come from? Actually?
I'm in New York. I'm in Long Island.
Oh, okay. Oh, because a lot of people don't even really know about Donnell Jones on the West Coast.
Okay, you guys are on the West Coast, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm totally on the opposite side of the country right now.
Yeah, I'm hearing, man, but it's cool, man. I'm feeling your musical choices, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they all solid, But,
yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks.
That's definitely a great thing. So, what's next out there for you, man? What you got planned next?
I'm just focused I'm focused on just keep recording and keep pushing music out there, originals, I'm not trying to sell out and trying to make things commercial. I pretty much do me, and whatever inspirations come to me, I just I'll record it. But I play like from true expression, and like I said, I'm working on my fifth album right now. I got 4 singles out on Spotify, iTunes, or all the platforms.
You might as
from
well
this
get
year.
the names while you might as well get the names while you're talking about it, so they'll know.
Yeah. I got I just released the 3rd Entry Wave. That's the latest single. About a couple weeks ago, I just released that. Then I got Drone Wars, which is another single, and then I got the 4th Quatrain, which is kind of like a relaxed kind of, has the same kind of feel like the beat, like Magician's Secret, but it's like a similar style progression. Different, totally different, but same kind of idea. But there's tracks that I do like the one you just heard, and then there's other tracks that I do which have different parts and they're progressive. Where it's not just like the same beat. Like different time signatures. 4/4/7/8. Like I'll mix it up. Things like that. But yeah, it takes time though. That's the whole idea. It takes a long time to write music, man. You don't just like write a track in a day. So I'm in no rush.
Especially like I know when especially super technical tracks. You know what I mean? Because I used to be pissed off when I was doing my studio thing, man. If we couldn't do 3 songs a day, at least lay down the the rhythm stuff, then I was awfully upset. But I always used to work with a live band. Working with a live band, we didn't have a lot of technical stuff. Where you can punch in, punch out, and do all that stuff again. But anyway, it's been a great ride. You know what I mean? It's been fun. Even though I quit every day and start back the next day.
So you're a singer, right?
Well, I started out as my first thing was a saxophone, and then I found out the saxophone wasn't all that popular with the girls, because we had all the jazz cats back then, We had Coltrane and all of those guys, and then later on came the Horny Horns, with James Brown and Parliament Funkadelics and all that guys. So I decided I didn't want to play no horns no more, man. I wanted to grab a microphone, so.
Right.
Yeah, I ended up doing that because back then the horn players wasn't getting the girls, so that was kind of important back then.
I know, man. No, but saxophone is a pretty sexy instrument, man. A lot of ladies.
Well, it is now. You know what I'm saying? It is now, but back then you just heard a lot of jazz players with sax.
Right.
Jazz, it wasn't out front like a Kenny G and none of those guys out there now.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about like jazz band, like ensemble jazz.
Yeah, so
that's
it's
the original jazz.
Yeah, totally different thing today with a horn, though. You know what I mean?
I know, but if you look at those guys, all those horn players back in the day, and I just you see them sweating in their pictures, those black and white pictures. You see how serious they were about their instrument, right?
Yeah.
They took it to heart, man. They're like that's the real music right there,
Yeah, the little
I love that, man.
The little country town I came from in Texas, man. It was guys that you would just drive down the street and they would just be sitting on their front porch just blowing their heart out,
Yeah.
And can play, that was the thing that would blow you away. They could actually play.
Yeah. You see that in New York City all the time in the subways. Some real sick musicians like just doing their thing. Killing it too. You'll be like, wow, man, this guy's insane.
Yeah, Same with New Orleans. You see a lot of horn players that come out of there too.
Oh yeah. I've yet to been there. I want to go there and check out the scene, the jazz scene over there.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Aaron Neville worked with me. The Neville brothers worked with me on one of my first albums back in the day.
That's awesome.
Awesome experience.
Yeah, that's where it started, man. That's but things took a turn, especially now that record companies are pretty much non-existent. Everybody's under their own name or label. And then there's you can't even buy CDs anymore. Everything changed, man. Everything's now it's internet streaming.
Trust me, I know. I've been on that roller coaster, man, and having to learn every step of the way. I go back from the 2-track, 4-track, 8-track, 24-track.
Yeah.
So I go back to all of that. Went through all those little different formats, and with vinyl. And, vinyl just made a resurgence 2 or 3 different times, you know what I mean? It came, gone, came back, gone, now it's back,
Yeah, you got to adapt. That's what it is, to the change and everything. The iPod was...
Yep.
Remember?
The iPod was the thing, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the iPod, people, what's an iPod?
New cars don't even have CD players in them no more.
Nah. like when I released my last album, I decided to get 100 copies, CDs, for those diehard fans, and I sold about 60, 70 of them. So, people, from old time cats, or people who still want the official copy in their hand, because streaming is just like in midair, Well,
it's always those. You definitely got to have them. Some people just actually like to read the liner notes, but the new click, when you go to a conference or a convention, you got to carry a backpack full of flash drives, thumb drives.
Oh my God, it changed so much.
Yeah, I mean, and I thought about that because I was one of those guys too. When I'm out rolling, man, used to have, 8x10s, and you'd have your CD with you, your press release, your bio,
right.
All that stuff to pass out at the event. And then, when my position changed in the industry and people started giving that stuff to me, and then I got to catch a plane, I don't want to be carrying 2 other suitcases full of pictures and bios and stuff, and I don't want to throw it away because I've been that guy before. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've been that guy.
So much.
I've been that guy that's trying to get on. I've been that guy trying to get my music heard, man. So I know how it is to have to come up with these pictures and have to pay for manufacturing and printing.
Right.
I know how that is, so you don't want to throw the stuff away and you don't want to leave it. So I'm kind of glad that part's been changed because it's a whole lot easier to carry a bunch of thumb drives than a whole bunch of packages, press releases.
But it's not even that. It's now it's YouTube and the internet, Spotify, and having websites, and all your pictures and your press information is all on your website. So it's you don't even need a flash drive, But you got to adapt to the way people's attention spans have changed too. A lot of this nowadays, like Instagram, and if you're not eye catching, or if you don't sound good within 10, 15 seconds, people just swipe right by you.
You're right, because people's attention spans is so short. It's almost like you're going to buy a pair of shoes and you walk in the store and they got 5,000 pairs of shoes. By the time you start looking around, you done walked out and didn't buy nothing.
Exactly. So it's very difficult to come up with a game plan.
Yeah. That's where the team comes in, where somebody got to stay focused on this while you stay focused on what you're supposed to do.
Right. But a lot of these independent artists like myself, and many others, there's no team, And you do everything on yourself, like my videos, I do all my videos myself, and, all my production, all the mixing and mastering, promotion, and you do it for years and years and years. And a lot of people give up on their dream, man. That's why you can't do that. You got to keep going.
Well, you one of the fortunate ones, man, because you was able to switch hats, man. But a lot of guys, man, they focus totally on their art, and they don't have the time, should I say. Because to me, I guess that's the whole purpose of a team. Yeah, it's great you can do all those things, but imagine what you could do if you could just focus on your guitar and your creativity part at all. See what I'm saying? So that's a hard place to get to, because look, I can't tell you how many times I struggle with that, trying to focus on the artist part of it, but yet still the other hat, because I've always been good at business. You know what I'm saying? So then I find myself torn. I'd find myself torn between me trying to rehearse and do all of that other kind of stuff, but yet still I got to be on the phone. I got to handle the business. I got to read contracts. I got to deal with the lawyers. I got to deal with all these other people, and you become torn. You end up doing all this stuff. Yeah, you can be doing it good. It's good you can do it, but then it's just so much easier if you have somebody that you could trust to do all that other stuff. Just to free you.
Yeah, Lamont, you said a mouthful right there, and I totally hear that. I totally agree with that. It's hard out there.
Gary. I've been that guy.
Yeah, man. I've been that guy I'm still that guy. Like. It's just that. But like I said, a lot of these guys, they don't get a desired result after a certain amount of time, and then they give up, and then they want to do something else, and they want, a lot of them think it's about money, and it's not about money, it's about the love of music. People feel like, if they don't get a desired result financially, that they want to find a new avenue. Right. But the way I look at it is, even if I don't make a dime, I'm going to keep playing, because it's in the heart.
Right.
Feel me?
You're a true musician, man. A lot of artists like to paint. Whatever their creativity comes out, they have to let it flow, because if they don't flow, then they're not happy. They're not complete.
Exactly. That's what it is, because people think, money is the happiness of life. It's really not, man. It's your passion. It's what gets you out of bed every day. Like what drives you to keep breathing, keep living. What are you looking forward to?
Didn't you hear me say earlier, I quit every day and start back the next day?
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's what that is. Oh, what else can we do? This is who we are. This is what we do. You know what I mean? If you're creative and a positive person, that comes from your soul, man. That's why I said I get pissed off at different things on a daily. When things don't go my way. I emphasize my way. And I am not doing this no more. But 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, man, my mind's right back on this music industry, right back on what I do, because this is what I do.
Exactly, because you're true to the heart when it comes to your music, man, and I totally feel that. The whole idea is, I work a day job, so that takes up a lot of my time, but I got to put food on the table at the same time, and this dude at the job that I was talking to, he's a drummer. He's been a drummer for years. He was in bands and he toured. And he says, listen, he told me, this guy's, almost 70 years old, like in his upper 60s. And he told me, he says, listen, you don't want to quit your job and then go tour the world, because, what are you going to do after a month or two? Yeah, you might get some gigs, but at the end of the day, you're going to lose your insurance. You're going to lose it all, man. He says, so you might as well hold on to your job and then keep doing your music, because at least you got money to like buy equipment and finance your releases and everything like that.
Yeah, that's the quandary right there too, man. Because I've known people that took that position and blew off a major situation. You know what I mean? Could have retired them for life. You know, could have set them up for life. But, you know, their significant other was pressing that security thing. You better stay on this job. You better not do this. You better not do that. Because if you don't do this, this is going to happen. So it's like
Right.
six on one, half a dozen on the other. Because that gig you might have went on, like I said, could have set you up for life. You know what I mean? But, you know, none of us have no crystal ball. But anyway, I'm going to stop running off the mouth, Gary. I'm going to play some more of your music right quick. How about that?
That sounds good.
All right, let me see. Third entry, Drone Wars or Landing Dock?
Could do Drone Wars.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. Mr. Gerry Mancuso, this is Drone Wars. Yes, 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 everybody. We back with Gerry Mancuso, and that was Drone Wars. Gerry, the time be flying when you be having fun, man. But real quickly, man, tell everybody where they can go get your music. Gerry. Hello.
Oh, sorry about that. You hear me now?
Yeah. We're almost out of time, buddy. I was trying to get you. Tell everybody where they can go get your music, where they can go catch up with you.
Oh, yeah, you can find me on Spotify. Just look me up, Gerry Mancuso. I'm on YouTube, iTunes, Instagram. Just type my name in. You can find me. I got all my music on there.
Oh, definitely, man. Well, thank you for coming through, man. And listen, we're going to be getting in touch with you, man, because I can hear some things with your music, man.
Yo, I'm appreciative, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Lamont.
Yes, sir. It's our pleasure. And look, for everybody that just came into the show late, it can be heard everywhere. Ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask the neighbor across the street. It's on all the platforms, so there's no reason for you not to hear it in its entirety. And we will be back next week. And thanks a lot for our guest, Mr. Gerry Mancuso. Check him out, everybody. Go support. You know it. We'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same back channel, same Lamont station. You know what I mean? Come back and see us. All right. Appreciate you. Love you. Y'all be safe out there.
Charlie Starr here, and I always listen to I Am Indie with your host, K. Diddy, on Blog Talk Radio. Every Wednesday at 2 p.m., listen from your phone. 347-308-8747. Blog Talk, K. Diddy. Pressure's right.